Hello, guys. Welcome to the next live of the AD show. Hello, hello, hello. So, the game week 2 has ended. I'm back with another live stream. Yesterday, we had a lot of talk about how game week 2 shaped up and how it is shaping our teams. Today, we'll just have a look at our teams in my league and in RK's league. RK has made a league FPL Masters. He will share the code and how the teams are faring there. What were the highlights of the second game week, and how should we move ahead in third game week or in fourth game week, and we will talk about the league also. So uh, there's a friend of mine, RK. He has created Ravi. He's created a league FPL Masters. So we'll be sharing the uh, league code in the chat, and will also tell you guys in tweets too, so that you can join. Uh, yeah, so we'll be discussing teams, all the teams that are there. In we are a small group, we're a small league, so we'll be discussing all the teams that are in that league and how they prepped themselves up, how they made some changes for the second game week, how they can look come game week 3. So yeah, that all we'll be discussing. We'll be also be going through the highlights of game week 2, and yeah. So let's start with some of the important decisions that we saw yesterday. Also, I discussed them, but I still want to see just a small highlight reel sort of. There was nothing much to talk about. Aston Villa Everton, friends. If you're really short of money and you want to do away with Bailey, I think you must have done away with Bailey right now, because yesterday night he dropped in price and now he's no more a 5.0 million player. He's now a 4.9 mil player. So if you did not have anything in the bank, sadly now you don't have an option, and he has gone down in price. But if you have some money, I think you can go for the Gordon from Everton. I think there are very strong link up rumors that Anthony Gordon from Everton is going to Chelsea. And I was very surprised with the fact that even a reputed Manchester City Twitter handle tweeted that Pep is really impressed by Anthony Gordon. Now I don't know whether this was said by Pep in isolation, whether he feels that in isolation, or has it something to do with the transfer window. I'm not sure. I'm surprised because yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player, but I'm still surprised that Pep feels so highly about him. Pep feels, because that was a genuine Man City Twitter handle, one of the better Twitter handles, one of the more trustworthy Twitter handles. So yeah, I was a bit surprised, but I think and Chelsea is really high on the player, and Anthony Gordon has also stated his request to go to Chelsea to Everton. Right now, what I'm hearing from Everton is that he's untouchable. He cannot be done away with. But we know all these statements. We know how that Brighton, Cucurella, and Chelsea thing happened. It was a bit ugly with Fabrizio Romano in the mix. But I think the rumors are too strong, and I think I am predicting that he might go to Chelsea and Tony Gordon. So that's the only big point. I think Everton, otherwise, is just there's no point in going to Everton. Aston Villa, I think, just get off the Villa guys. Their fixtures are not getting any easier now. So just get off them. Just let go of these cashes and the Coutinhos and the Dinias and the Ings. I don't know whether anybody had Ings, but just let go of these players. I think it is very important. Next was Arsenal Leicester. Uh, I think you must have Jesus from Arsenal. You can have a defender from Arsenal, or you can go for Martinelli. I think if you already have Saka, there are two ways to go about it. If there is any place in your team where you would like to invest more, I think if and then you what you can do is you can remove Saka, replace Saka with Martinelli. You can save 1.7 million there, and you can upgrade any forward or a defender or a midfielder uh, using that money. So if you have a Saka and a Bailey, what you can do is you can sell Saka for a Martinelli, and then the rest of the 1.7 you can buy a Pascal Grob or anybody from Brighton in place of Bailey. So I think because Martinelli from the left has looked really attacking. Saka is yet to look involved. Yes, I'm not saying Saka will not come good. Saka will come good, considering the fact, especially that Chelsea has two promoted teams next consecutively. So I think, yeah, uh, but still I think you can use the money in better ways. So yeah, you can also have a defensive asset from Arsenal, either a Gabriel or a Saliba or a Zinchenko. I think now you shouldn't touch uh, the other player, the other defender. I'm just forgetting his name. Ben White. He was substituted, I think, very early in the previous match. So I think you shouldn't do touch Ben White. But the rest of the defenders, you can certainly go for them. Arsenal is a great Arsenal. I think you can go for Ramsdale. There are a lot of good picks in Arsenal right now. Leicester, I think the best pick is Madison. I think in isolation of the fact how Leicester is doing, I think Madison will do well. I think he wants to represent his country. I think he wants to show his talent uh, in his national colors. In order to do so, I think in order to impress Southgate, I think he must do well for Leicester. No matter how badly Leicester does, I think Madison will keep on improving. And if you guys are really interested in an asset who has no European football to go with and is almost a certainty in the team. I think Madison, you don't have to look anywhere for more ahead of Madison. I think Madison is a great shout. Brighton, Newcastle. I think Brighton looked very dangerous. I think Brighton has some lovely matches coming up. I think you should consider Brighton's assets, especially the likes of Pascal Grob. I think is a very good shout. Uh, my only doubts with a Potter team, especially this Brighton, is you never know what Potter starts doing with this team. He's You are just a one defeat or a one draw or one sluggish performance away from sudden shift in change in say a system and players changing. We all saw how Trossard would use as a left back, and then he wasn't successful. Then he became successful. Then now he's not being involved again. It is very difficult to. I think after Pep, Potter is very difficult to understand the kind of tactics he's used as an FPL manager. Yes, they are good for his team and for his club, but I think as an FPL asset, I always think that way about Potter. But right now, I feel Pascal Grob is a great shout. I think Welbeck is really good, and I think Welbeck will start most of the games. Although Welbeck, I think, is making space for the other shooters, for the likes of Solly March and Pascal Grob. So yeah, I think Brighton is a good prospect. Newcastle, I think, has good assets like the likes of Callum Wilson. I don't think now uh, the other Bruno Guimaraes, he's an option anymore. I think Bruno Guimaraes is playing pretty deep. He's trying to play the playmaker role, and even before the season started, I was pretty bearish on Bruno Guimaraes, and I was very vocal about the fact that just because of his previous performance, we shouldn't be considering him that much, and that is the reason I think there aren't many. If you have Trippier, just stick with Trippier. There would be some tough games. I think you can use if you can even play Trippier in tough games. You never know when he can score with a great free kick and some lovely corners. Apart from that, I think you can use anybody from your bench, an Andreas or a De Silva for such tough games. So I feel Trippier is a hold rest. Don't buy Newcastle and Brighton. I've already spoken about the three players. Man City and Bournemouth. I think there's a lot of value in our defense right now. You can go for our goalkeeper Ederson. I think if you guys are saying, yeah, it is already too late, we have already missed two clean sheets, it is never late. It is never late to have a good team's defenses. You, I am think I was thinking of even doubling up, but it is just that it's my club. I really want somebody in their attack, so I went for Gundo. So there's no place for a double defensive asset. I just have Cancelo, but I can see people, managers who are having Cancelo and Diaz or Ederson. I think they are just reveling. I think they are enjoying themselves. They are every game week they have this certainty of almost a certainty of a clean sheet. So yeah, I think anywhere in Kyle Walker is a very cheap defensive asset at 5. Yes, his minutes might be managed, and yes, his position is still not completely nailed. But hey, I think if you can get 3 or 4 clean sheets out of him, that's not bad. So in the forward line, we all know about Haaland. I think Haaland is should be in your teams. In our midfield, I think you will face the most dilemma apart from Kevin De Bruyne. If you have Kevin De Bruyne, I think you just don't need to look anywhere else. You have one of the best assets of the game. If you don't have Kevin De Bruyne, I think all rest of the options, be it Mahrez, be it Alvarez, be it Foden, be it Grealish, be it Gundogan, I think they all will be rotated by Pep, and it is difficult. And if you have an appetite of taking risk, if you have an appetite of going big, then only I think you should consider yourself. Because if you are a very safe manager, you just want your X minutes, and that, there's nothing wrong about it. I'm saying that with utmost respect. If you want your X minutes to be logged first, I don't think you should go for a city mid. I think you should just have a safe city couple of defensive players and in Holland or De Bruyne, and you are good to go. So that is, I don't see anybody getting anyone from Bournemouth, especially when Solanke is injured. I don't know what his injury status is, whether he's fit or not. I think when Bournemouth's fixtures get good, I think they become better. I think Solanke would be a great shout. Uh, Next was Southampton and Leeds. I was really impressed by the Southampton Aribo guy. He came off the bench, and I think sooner than later he will start games for Southampton. The rest, I think, there's nothing much to look forward to when Southampton is. I am considering Southampton. Leeds. I will again say, with the injury to Bamford, I don't know what the status of his injury is. With injury to Bamford, I think Rodrigo is a great shout. Uh, Aronson is another great shout. I think these are the two picks I am keeping my eye on. Harrison, on the other hand, I really fancy him when Bamford was doing good. But now that Bamford is out, I am not too keen on Harrison as an asset. So yeah, for me, Aronson and Rodrigo, and I think Rodrigo is a prime target. You can really go for Rodrigo. Aronson, you can still give him some time. It should be a wait and watch attitude with Aronson. And there's another guy, I think Sinistera. I think you should give time. Have a look at the guy. I have heard loads of good things about Sinistera. I have never watched him play. I will try to watch and will tell you guys, because I don't say things without watching them. It is very difficult for me to see the stats and see, oh, this is his XG, this is his XA, he must be a very good player. I need to see that guy playing. So I'm not seen Sinistera playing, but if he starts, I will try to go and watch his old matches for his previous club and everything, and then I can tell you guys whether the hype machine is really uh, on it or not. The next was Wolves Fulham. Fulham, if you have Mitrovic, keep him. If you don't have Mitrovic, don't buy him. In the next 5 matches, I think he faces three of the very tough opponents. I think they have Man City, they have Arsenal, and one more difficult fixture they have. So don't buy Mitrovic right now. I will not suggest it. Mitro can fire in any game. You have already seen that against Liverpool. But I still feel if you don't have him, don't buy him right now. You can go for an Ivan Toney. You can go for a Bamford is not there. I think you can go for a Tony, or once Darwin is back after a couple of game weeks, you can go for Darwin. Right now, I don't see any logic of going for Mitrovic. But if you have him, just keep him. Just keep playing him. I think he is a James Ward-Prowse type of player. You keep him for the season, he will deliver you points. I think considering the form he has shown, I think he will cross that 150 mark this time. Mitrovic. So I think with 6 point, just 6.5, 150 is a great shout. Fulham, Wolves, I see Neto is the only one I'm seeing. Now, today I heard rumors about Neto going three of the big six interested in Neto. Arsenal, I think it was Arsenal, it was uh, Manchester United, and one more club was interested in Neto. I am very sure Manchester United and Arsenal were there. I think it would be a good buy for Manchester United because of the fact that this guy has played Premier League before. He is not coming out of any other league. So because you're never sure with good or great players from other leagues, they sometimes take time. We have all seen what happened with Lukaku. Although he has played Premier League, but still he took so much of time, and he was literally uh, not going anywhere with the Chelsea team. And with Neto, I think it won't be the case. I think if they really go for him, I think Manchester United can have a really good player in their at their hands. Um, Thanks, SK man. Uh, Next is Brentford versus Manchester United. I think if you're looking at Brentford, I think you should either go for any of the 4.5 defenders, wingers. I think they are good. Brentford is looking solid. I really love their coach Thomas. I think he's technically very on point most of the games. The way he read the Manchester United thing, the way he read the Eric Ten Hag and how he's going to play, they are going to make the ball from the back. I think they really read it, and the press was this intense. I am just worried whether Manchester United starts from the back against tries to play from the back against Liverpool. Because if this try to play from the back against Liverpool, I think it can be anything. I think it can be 8090. It can be that bad. I know 8090 is, it is easy to say these things 8090, but I think if if they really if uh, Manchester United tries to play from the backs, tries to make play starting from Dahia, I think that would be very unrealistic, unpragmatic. I think that would not suit Manchester United against Liverpool. I think against Liverpool, they need to have a low block. I think they need to sit behind. They need to play practically. Eric Ten Hag has to understand. I know he's the manager. I'm just a viewer, but still, I think he needs to understand that uh, it will take time. The transformation will take time. He cannot just start. It will be like a Bielsa thing. He The problem with Bielsa was the same. I don't think it was a problem. I think there are some managers who are not that practical and they are more dreamy. They are more say purists of the game. Now these managers they have this tendency to play only one way. With Bielsa, we saw that he had the tendency to play only one way, and when it goes your way, it really goes your way. And when it goes against you, it really they say na there's this adage that when it rains, it pours. That is what happens when things go against them and they are a purist. I feel the same fear with Eric Ten Hag that he will not back down seeing Liverpool. I think he will say it is okay. We will still play from the back. This team, this group of players are not in a habit of playing from the back. They are more in a habit of more in line of counter attacking. I think if Manchester United play counter attacking football and try to defend deep, sit back in numbers, park the bus, I think they can even upset Liverpool. I don't. These are good players, trust you me, but these are not good players when you think about Ten Hag's system of playing from the back. I think these are good counter-attacking players. This Manchester United team can, if you give Jose Mourinho this side, I think he can do wonders with this side also. Not because Eric Ten Hag is any lesser than Jose Mourinho. I think because Jose Mourinho's kind of play, style of play suits these players more. They like to play on counter attack, like what Spurs used to do all the time. I think these players also they don't want to have the ball. They want to be without the ball most of the times. And as soon as they get the opportunity, they will shoot a long ball. Will give Cristiano Ronaldo and Rashford the pace. Rashford will run with the ball. Bruno and CR7 will run along with him. That is the kind of football these guys like to play. But what Eric Ten Hag likes to play is he likes to impose his will on the opposition. He likes to play a certain way. He's a purist. He doesn't like the waiting game to wait for the ball and then the ball will come and then we will counter attack. He likes to keep the ball with themselves. He will want Manchester United to impose their will on Liverpool. Now there is nothing wrong with that thought process, but I think you need to have that kind of ammunition. You cannot bring a knife to a gunfight. Now this is what I'm worried about. If Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag try to start and play from the back, I think Liverpool can make a mockery of this. That is why I'm very worried about this game. I just hope Eric Ten Hag just gets to be a bit realistic and thinks that no, we have to be a bit smart about it, and then he tries to build his team against the weaker opposition, sort of something, or good get players who fall in this his system of play, so to say. So I don't think you should touch Manchester United assets right now. In future, they might be good because they are very generously priced. Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. Nottingham Forest was extremely lucky not to concede any goal. West Ham, I think they have started very slowly. I don't think you should touch any of the players. Yes, if you have Nico Williams, keep him, play him in good fixtures. He looked really, really attacking against West Ham. Chelsea, Tottenham, I think Chelsea, I think not many people, not many FPL managers, not many content creators are big on Sterling. I am really bullish on Sterling after seeing him perform against Tottenham. I think every attack, no matter even if they sign Oba or Anthony Gordon, I think Raheem Sterling is the mainstay, and I think no attack would be complete without Sterling. I think Raz is really important to this Chelsea attack, and I think he, for the first time, Raz looked a bit in sync with the team. I think Raz is going to destroy some defenses. If you have Raz, guys, I think you shouldn't switch him to anybody for that matter. I think he's going to just blow some oppositions away. Have some faith on Raz. I think he will do good. Mm, Reese James, you guys must have Reese James. I think he's going to score a lot of points, very consistent. Don't pay heed to these things that is either he's playing a right centre back or a right wing back. He's better as a wing back, poor as a centre back. I don't see that. I think wing back he's very dangerous. Right centre back he's dangerous. Any which ways he's dangerous. So you just need to have Reece James. Uh, Tottenham, I think we all know Son or Kane are the obvious usual suspects. But hey, if you have Perisic, keep him. I think he will start against Wolves. I think there is a possibility. I'm not sure because Conte is consistently telling everybody that he's playing his best team. Now, with Conte, I have started learning that his statements are more or less political. He is a man who thinks about everything and then speaks. He isn't a Tuchel who will say whatever comes to his mind. So I think just think if you don't have Perisic, just wait for one more game week. I don't think buying Perisic right now is the right choice. But if you have him, just start him. I think he can just absolutely destroy Wolves that day. And if you have Kulusevski, just persist with him. I think he's a great shout, especially against Wolves. Yeah. Next, Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. I think Liverpool, we all know Darwin is now out. Salah, the usual suspects, Robertson, Trent, and Luis Diaz. Now, there's a huge uproar among the FPL managers that Robertson has not done anything and he needs to be sold in order to get Luis Diaz, who has looked good and who scored a worldly in game week 2. Now, I don't see any problems with Luis Diaz. I think he's a fine pick. And with the absence of now with the absence of Darwin Nunez, Firmino will come back. And I think when Firmino comes, he does not play that role of a Darwin Nunes. He plays that link up role between Salah and Luis Diaz. I think Luis Diaz will benefit massively with the onset of Robert Firmino. However, I think the first two games that I have witnessed, I think even when Darwin Nunes started, even when Darwin Nunes did not start in game week 1, in both the scenarios, Robertson was so much forward. I can tell you guys, he was forward than Darwin Nunes in on a couple of occasions. He was more ahead. He was ahead of Salah. He was ahead of Luis Diaz. I just don't know how. Why is he doing so? I think that's a strategic planning from Klopp. I think he's playing like a forward. I think Trent is deeper this time. Trent is playing in a strange, weird role. I think he's sometimes coming back to his usual role, then going again in the midfield. Then he's just trying to create. He is not going so much into the box. I think Trent is playing more of a creator role. His assist potential is high. Again, Trent's. But I think Robertson will score more goals than assists this season if he continues to play. Now, whatever say guys, I say because I have seen that happening in the past 1 or 2 or 3 game weeks. But if it changes, if the system changes, you guys need to make a note of that. Oh, now the system has changed. Now Robertson is not doing that anymore. But right now, what Robertson is doing is he's playing way advanced. If you guys highlights of any of the Liverpool's game, you will see Robertson always on the edge of that penalty box and inside the box, and Trent is always creating from that side. I think Trent has an potential. Trent has an unbelievable assist potential, and I think Robertson has that goal scoring potential. I think Robertson will score goals this time if he continues to play from that role because In the last season, he was playing in the same manner in which Trent was playing. He was trying to create. Now I don't see any creation from him because he's so forward that he cannot create anything from there. He can pass, he can give a pass as an assist, but he cannot create balls from that high being on the pitch. I think he's going to be a goal scorer. Now, guys, this was about the last game week. Now, let's talk about the coming game week and how I think the matches will shape up. I will try to tell you guys what can be what can I can consider a solid score line. I will try to delve into the game and will try to tell you guys what the score line can be. So if we start, the first game is Spurs versus Wolves. I think Spurs is playing at home. Wolves defense has looked a bit off, not very bad, a bit off. I won't be surprised if Spurs score 3 or 4 goals this game week, and I think Wolves. I think Spurs might not keep a clean sheet. They have looked a bit susceptible at times. I think Spurs win this 3-1 or 4-1. Okay, I will go Spurs 3, Wolves 1. So this will be my prediction for this game. I can see the wing backs really forward and attacking the Wolves defense. Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. Now, this game at Palace's home ground, I think Crystal Palace will edge this out. I think Crystal Palace will win this either 2-0 or 2-1. I will go for a Crystal Palace win 2-0 over Aston Villa. I think Zaha will score and Eze will score. Eze will score because I have got him in my team. So Eze will definitely score. Next is Everton versus Nottingham Forest. Uh, that's a very tough one. Everton at home is a very deadly prospect. Nottingham Forest, mm, I think it's going to be 2-1 Everton. I think Everton will nick it. Anthony Gordon or Gray, Demari Gray will score a late goal at Goodison. I think it is difficult to score goals against Everton. Nottingham Forest has looked good, but they generally look good at their home, and that too when West Ham missed so many chances. So I think Everton will score goals. The next is Fulham. Fulham and Brentford at Craven Cottage. I think Fulham played really well at home against Liverpool. I think Brentford looked really solid against Manchester United. I think this is going to be a tight game. I can see this game being a 0-0. Yes, I know both the teams can score, but I am saying I will go with Fulham nil, Brentford nil. Next is Leicester Southampton. Now this is a fun game, guys. If you want to see a lot of entertainment, goals galore, I think you must see this match, Leicester versus Southampton. I think both the teams are going to score. Both are going. I think both are going to score more than one goal. I think it will be a two-all game. I think Leicester will score two. Southampton will score two. It is going to be a really fun match, Leicester Southampton. Next, Bournemouth Arsenal. Bournemouth is playing at home. I don't think at home they'll be playing that deep like they did against Manchester United at Etihad. I think they will come out to score because of their following. I think Arsenal will win this 3-1. I think Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 3. Next is Leeds Chelsea. I think this is going to be a bit of a goal fest for Chelsea. I see Chelsea 3, Leeds 1 in this match. West Ham versus Brighton. I think Hammers are playing at home. Brighton is looking in form. Uh, I will go West Ham 0, Brighton 2. West Ham 1, Brighton 2. Newcastle versus Man City. Now, this is my club, even though we are playing at Newcastle, but I think Man City will really have a lot of chances. I think this will be a lopsided encounter. I think Newcastle 0, Man City 4. Last but not the least, Manchester United versus Liverpool. Now, this can be anything. If Man, I will give two predictions here. If Eric Ten Hag doesn't mend his ways and he tries to play from the back, I think it will be Manchester United 0, Liverpool 4. However, if Manchester United try to sit back and play a bit more practically, I think it will be Manchester United 1, Liverpool 1. Yes, I know, but I think Manchester United, I think if they sit back, they have the kind of players who can force out a draw out of Liverpool. So it is very tricky to say what will happen, because it all depends if what Eric Ten Hag tries, what system Eric Ten Hag tries to start with, right, tries to play with. So these are the fixtures of Game Week 3, guys, that I was really interested in. And now I will go to my friend RK's league. And guys, if you will be watching this, because not many people are watching right now, if you guys are watching it later as a recorded video and not a live video, RK or SK will share the league code in the comment section. So kindly go to the comment section and see the code of our league and kindly join the league. And the league code will be provided both in the comment section and in the live chat also. So I can see in between people are coming and going by. So if any of you wants to join our league, I think you are more than welcome. We are just 11 member uh, group right now, FPL Masters, but it will be really good to make it a 30 or a 40 people league. So we'll share the team league code in the comment section, and then you guys can join. So let us start. Oh, I think Varane must start. A quick thought, please. I think I just don't know if he was fit. Why he did not start with him second game? I just, for the life of me, I cannot understand. I think he's a quality defender. Starting Lisandro Martinez over Varane was, I think, it was very difficult and very painful to watch. We can we saw that in the second half, just with his arrival and just with the kind of football he played. I think Varane made Manchester United look a bit more secure. I think Harry Maguire is not doing a great job, but I think still I will have him with Varane. I think Lisandro Martinez needs to sit this one out, and he needs to learn a lot from Varane. I think I was just so sad to see Varane not starting, because Varane is a great player. Yes, everybody is high on what his age is, but we have all seen how good Thiago Silva. It took a couple of games for Thiago Silva to settle in Chelsea, but then nobody was talking about his age. Hi Tripta, I see you joined from office. What do you think about Holland not getting the ball through the match? No, I think that will always be a problem with the likes of Holland. I think because the defenders have this the opposition managers have this fear of Haaland scoring through and tearing through their defenses. I think they post a couple of men with Haaland, but I think that with the quality we have in our midfield, I don't see I don't see them not starting and not passing the ball to Haaland for long. I think Haaland will score a lot of goals this season. The problem with a player like Haaland is, and us as FPL managers, is our expectations is way too high. I think he can be the one of the most consistent players in this league because of the team he is with. I think Pep has when Pep benched and substituted Foden in the half time, whether it was a right or wrong decision, that is a separate matter altogether. I think it was right, but he gave a signal to everybody that we have bought a number 9 this season. We have bought a very classy, a beast of a number 9. His name is Erling Holland, and all the midfielders need to pass the ball to him if he is free. If he isn't free, you can go and take your shoot. But if you are shooting ahead of him and he's free and not passing, you will be shown the door. And I think that was done rightly with Foden. I think Foden is a quality pick. I think he's young. He just tried to take a shot. Even if I think even if he would have succeeded and scored a goal, I think still Pep would have substituted him at halftime. So I think that was, I don't think that was an unfair call. I think that was a great call. I think his good managers always try to send a message, and he has sent a message loud across, and he has sent a message to us FPL managers too, that every Manchester City midfielder is looking for Holland. If they cannot find Haaland, then only they will make the run and try to score for themselves. Otherwise, they will just keep on passing the ball, waiting for that good pass, for that incisive pass for Holland. So yeah, uh, I'm going through the teams. Whatever questions you have, guys, just you can keep on asking in the chat, and I will first. My team, I have already discussed it in the video with my missus. I will start with FC Stealth. That is SK's team. I think SK has done really well this game week. SK scored 69 points. And let us have a look at SK's team. Sanchez, like me, he has Sanchez at between the sticks, and I think Sanchez is really doing a great job. Then in defense, he doesn't have Trent. Now that's a very ballsy move. SK is always known to make ballsy moves. He's that kind of manager. He what I have seen with SK is he tries to he tries to fit in as many good players as possible. I don't think that's a bad strategy. I just feel that if you are trying to captain somebody, you can only captain one player, and when you can only captain one player, then you then that other player who is 12 million, 13 million, he she needs to consistently perform. Otherwise, you can use that money to distribute wisely. But hey, he got more points than me this game week, so I think this strategy is looking to work for him. He started with Robertson. He has just two Liverpool assets. Robertson, he that scored 2 points. I think Robertson is a great pick. I think he should keep Robertson. I don't know what his transfer plans are, but I think he should hold Robertson. Robertson has looked like a forward, and I think he's going to score sooner or later if he keeps coming in those sort of positions. James, I think Reece James is indispensable. Cancelo, great pick. Janssen is a very good shout. I have seen SK keeping Brentford players in the last season also. I think he is very bullish on Brentford players. I don't know why, but he has some secret sort of affair with Brentford players. He's always having, when none of the managers have Brentford players, even then he has one or two Brentford players. Right now also he has two Brentford players. And I'm very sure he will triple the Brentford players. I'm very sure about it. He has some sort of love with Brentford, I think. I think his second favorite team is Brentford. After Manchester United, I think his second favorite team is Brentford. Then Rashford, I think he should get Rashford out now. I don't. Now he's playing Liverpool also. He should just shed his emotions and get rid of Rashford. I think just go. I think just go with Martinelli or Rodrigo. It's a great shout. Don't waste your time with Rashford right now. Next is Salah, Son, and De Bruyne. What to say, what to ask, what to do with these three? I think these are three of the finest picks of the game. Salah, Son, and De Bruyne. De Bruyne, I think, is a very ballsy move. Many people rate him. Many people say De Bruyne is such a great player, but few have the ability to pick him because uh, they want to have the likes of Salahs, the Haalands, the Sons, the Kanes, and they find KDB to be less explosive. But I think the last season ended, KDB showed his real metal. I think KDB showed that he is the one to hold on to and is as explosive as dependable. And I think SK has believed in him. Murphy got him 1 point. I think SK should get rid of Murphy too. And his front line. Whenever I see his front line, I think it's a very strange front line. He's just got Mbumo, but hey, Mbumo also scored. Mbumo got him 6 points. So it's a great team. I think there are only two spots that I think are marginally this. Those are those are sorry, Rashford and Murphy. Otherwise, I think it's a great team. SK, I have used my true free transfers as well. He has got Jesus for Mbuma. What a call, SK. What a call. It's a brilliant call. Jesus for Mbuma and the kind of fixtures Jesus has the next two, I think it's a beautiful call. And Pereira for Rashford. Pereira? Which Pereira you have got for Rashford? SK? Pereira. Hmm. Which Pereira have you got? Just let me see. The kind of players this man gets amazes me. Pereira, just let me see which Pereira is he talking about. Okay, Andreas Pereira. Okay. The Fulham guy. Yeah, he's a good pick. He's a good pick. Plays very forward and I think plays very forward and those dead balls with the free kicks, the one of the corners also he takes. I think Andres Perez is a fair shout. And Jesus, I am really impressed with Jesus. Now you see SK, Mbumo, whenever we make a transfer, like SK has done, this is a prime example of what we should do when we need to make a transfer or two transfers at one time. See, most of the people will think it in isolation that okay here yeah SK, I understand that yeah you had to adjust the budget in order to get Jesus because Jesus is too pricey when compared to Mbumo. One thing I was talking about is you shouldn't compare your transfers in isolation. What I mean is you need to see who will give you more points. Jesus plus Pereira or Rashford plus Mbumo. I think Jesus plus Pereira will give you more points. So this is, I think this is what you need to keep in mind always, that things, if you are making more than one transfer, use use those transfers in order to get the maximum out of the two. Compare the two simultaneously. Don't think this Jesus versus Mbumo or Pereira versus Rashford. This will always be an unfair combination. Always add them up. Will Jesus and Pereira outscore Rashford and Mbumo? I think always they will outscore, and the kind of form they are in. So this is the question to be asked. So this was SK's team. I think it was a great team. I think it is going to keep on doing well. Next is number three is Maximus Jishnu Rajgopal. Let me see what his team is. He's got 67 points. Another good game week for him. This guy, I think this time Maximus Jishnu has changed his style of play. What he is doing is he's trying to play more template wise. I think he's trying to play the safe picks. I think he's watching some content creator and he's trying to pick the safe picks. I certainly think this is not how he played last season. I think this season he's trying to emulate somebody. He's trying to learn from a content creator, and I think that's a good shout. I think that's because his team is so template-ish that I was really surprised how Jishnu managed this team. Mendy is his goalkeeper now. I think earlier I was not so sure about Mendy because I was like Chelsea is not gelling like now they have got Kukureya, now they have got Koulibaly. I think Mendy will keep a lot of clean sheets in the coming games. They have a good, I think, a good fixture ticker now. I think Mendy will keep clean sheets. Trent, James, Cancelo, Robertson, finest backlines. Bailly, Martinelli, Neto, and Salah. And in the front line, it was Jesus and Haaland. Like me, his captain was Haaland last time round. Like, let's see whom his captain is this time. I am not sure about Bailly and Neto anymore. Neto, I still think will start most of the games, and I think he should uh, keep on playing with Neto. The one player I'm not sure is Bailly. I don't know whether he's made that transfer or not. He's not in the chat right now. And one good thing about him is he has Perisic at his disposal. What he can do in the next game week is he can play Perisic instead of Bailly, and then he can use the formation of a 5-3-2. I think Perisic against Wolves will just be a cracker if he starts. I think he can start Perisic and he can keep Bailly on the bench. Yeah, that would be good, even if we have not sold him. This is Jishnu's team. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful, strong team to have. Next is Nice Girls. Although we have already discussed her team yesterday with me, but if I don't discuss it right now, she won't be happy with me. So let's just discuss her team also. Sanchez in goal, 6 points. What do you think about Elon Musk buying Manu? He just cleared it. He was just having some fun. He's not in a mood to buy any sports team. He was just having some good fun. So that was it. Yeah, I am discussing your team. Sanchez at goal, Trent and Robertson in defense. Cancelo, James, and Perisic. I think that's a very strong backline. I think it is just as same as Jishnu. Salah, Coutinho, and Noto. And I think she has removed Coutinho for Martinelli. Now her backline reads Salah, Martinelli, Neto, Haaland, and Jesus. I think she still has one transfer left. I think she should get rid of Neto and should get a say a Pascal Grob or a Rodrigo. I'm not sure that's her team, but I think her Coutinho to Martinelli shout is fine. The one player who I don't have and I'm really afraid of him is Martinelli. But I just don't have the money. I would have to send a Trent or a Cancelo Robertson. I don't want to do that. Martinelli, yes, yeah. Martinelli is really terrifying me. So this is Tripta's team. She has got Andreas Da Silva with 8 points on the bench. Let's see what her playing 11 is again. Next is Nigel Morrison. His team's name is Merseyside Reds. I think he's the Merseyside of this. Either he supports, I think, Liverpool or he supports Everton, but he has clearly written Reds. So I think he's a Liverpool supporter. Um, Now his Sanchez at goal, Trent, Trippier, and Justin. Now I really like this team. These there are certain picks that I really like. Justin, I am not sure I really like this team. I really like this pick, but I think it's a gutsy pick. Now I think if they have got Justin, I think he should keep him for the next fixture, which is against Southampton. I think Justin took some really forward positions in the last game. I think Justin should be kept by him for just this one Southampton game, and I think there are a lot of good options even at 4.5. Just get rid of Justin, get a Saliba or anybody who I think who are great picks. So I think you should sell Justin right now. Well, not right now, just after game one game week. Then Neto and Salah and Son, good picks. Then Bailey and Zaha. I think again the problem this Bailey conundrum is really difficult. I really like this Zaha pick. I'm really impressed with Zaha pick. And then he has Jesus and Haaland. So like SK, this Mercy View Reds also has three premium. This is again a premium draft. SK had Salah, Son, and KDB. This guy has Salah, Son, and Haaland. I'm really impressed with this team because he has Jesus and Zaha too. But what problems he has is he has to make a lot of sacrifices, a lot of compromises in his defense because he only has Alexander Arnold. He doesn't have the likes of Reece James. He doesn't have the likes of a Robertson, a Cancelo, a Walker, a Diaz, a Kukurea. Uh, I think he needs to see this a bit. He needs to strengthen his defense. Then we will go to Saurav AV. Yeah, he was in our chat a couple of game weeks ago. Oh, he wildcarded. He used a wild card. Saurav. Why did he use a wild card? Okay. So let me see his wild card team. He started with Mendy in goal. Then he had Diaz and Cancelo. I think Mendy is a great shout. Diaz, Cancelo, just enjoying the fruits of a Man City defenses. It is so good to see. He has a great City triple up in Haaland, Diaz, and Cancelo. I think this gift of City will keep on giving. Alexander Arnold, great pick. Zinchenko, good pick. Shah, Fabian Shah. Now this is an interesting pick. Yes, Newcastle's defense has improved, but still, I feel Fabian Shah. I think it's a bold shout. I think he's got him just because of the goal he scored in game week one. I think it was a very reactive decision by Saurav. He could have got a better player. Uh, in midfield, yes, Sterling. I'm really impressed with this pick. I think Sterling, Salah, and Martinelli. I think the midfield is very, very, very strong. I think with the kind of matches the fixtures Sterling has. Just let me have a look at his fixtures. Sterling has Leeds, Leicester, Southampton, West Ham, Fulham. I think the next 5 game weeks are really tasty, really, really tasty. I think keep you should keep him. Uh, Next is Mitrovic. Next are Mitrovic and Haaland. I think Haaland we have already seen. Mitrovic, I think he should keep in his team no matter how he does. I think he should keep him in his team. Mitrovic is a good sound player, so Mitrovic should be in his team. And yeah, I think that's a great wildcard team. I don't know what his first team. I think his first team looked pretty same. Okay, he had Daka and Kane in the first team and Bernardo Silva and James in the defense. So he had made 4 changes to his previous team against this team. Okay, but I still feel he has done a good job with this team. I just feel he need to address Shar. I think Fabian Shar is priced at 4.6. I think he can easily get a Saliba. I think he should get rid of Fabian Schär because Newcastle's fixtures are getting very difficult right now. The next few fixtures of Newcastle read Manchester City, Wolves, and Liverpool. I think that's a really tough run in the next 3 game weeks. I think he should get rid of Schär and he should get a Saliba. Yes, he can also play Da Silva, but now with the just a second, guys, just a second. I will take a quick call and I'll be back, guys. Just a second. Yeah, so uh, It is really good to see that he is wild carded, but I think we should get rid of Shah, Fabian Shah. Quite a ballsy decision again. Next, we will see the team of Mark Lees. Atletico Oldham, Mark Lees. This was not a very good game week for him. He scored just 46 points. But let me see. He got Ramsdale in goal. That's a good pick. James Cancelo, Trent Alexander, brilliant defense. Salah, Murphy, Bailly, Andreas. Now that's a very, very poor. I think apart from Salah, Murphy, Bailey, and Andreas, that's a really poor. This I think the midfield is really poor. Why the midfield is poor? Because he has got the forward line of Kane, Haaland, and Mitrovic. Now I think that's a little too many guys. I think Atletico Oldham. If you see my video later, just try to get rid of either Kane or Haaland. Make your midfield a bit stronger. Next, we'll move on to another team, MIB Malungu Ikubiru. I think this is a new addition to our team. Just guys, I'll be back in a minute. Then we'll discuss MIB Malang Ikubiru. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but it's a fun name. It's a good name. MIB Malang Ikubiru. I'll be back with your team. Sorry, guys, I'm back, and now I'm going to discuss MIB Malang Ikubiru's team. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, but it's a great, great, great name. And he scored just 33 points, and he was on a bench boost. So, a bit of a terrible week for Malang Ikubiru. But I think, guys, it keeps on happening. Don't worry. Now, let me have a look at MIB Malang's team. Now, he has got Ederson in goal, great pick. He has got some strange picks in his team, but I think we always say play your own game, so I don't think we should punish him for that. He has Trent Alexander-Arnold, Amate, and SP in the back. Then he has a Salah, a Murphy, a De Bruyne, and Rice his midfield. And he has Surridge, Haaland, Mitrovic. Surridge doesn't even start, I think. His I think he doesn't. He's not familiar with the rules of the game because he has got Kepa holding Douglas Lewis and Matip as his bench, and he has played bench boost when none of them start. So MIB Malang, if you are listening to our stream, I think uh, bench boost is played when your bench is strong enough and you want to add their points to your main team. Unfortunately, your players did not play. But what you can do right now is, I think uh, you should play a wild card because this team is going to not do very well in future. I think you should keep the likes of Ederson, Trent, Salah, De Bruyne, and Haaland in your team, and Mitrovic too. But I think you should get rid of Amate, SP, Murphy, Rice, Saric, I think, and change your bench. I think yes, if you ever listen to this video, just think about this MIB. Otherwise, it's your own game to play, whatever suits you. But at least select players who are going to start. That's my only piece of advice if you want to take it. Next is Rahul Menon, the country bulls. Now, he straight away what I can see is the ballsy captain move he had. He kept his captaincy on Kane. Kane fired with 16 point late goal for Kane, and it really looked good. And then Ward as goalie. he scored a point. Perisic, Trent, Trippier's defense, very good defense. Now he can have Zinchenko also back in his defensive setup from his bench because Zinchenko has got a good set of fixtures to come. And then in the middle he has Salah, Foden, Bailey, Mount, Martinelli, great midfield, and Kane and Darwin. Now it is known that Darwin Nunez has got a red card. I think he needs to get Darwin out and get some other players selected in place of Darwin. But I think it's a great team. Just need to look at Bailey and Darwin, and he can start as Zinchenko instead of a Trippier because Trippier is playing Man City. The chances of a clean sheet are probably a bit dim. Otherwise, it's a great team, Rahul Menon. Next is RKJ, the founder of this league, the owner of this league. He has got 53 points. Dahia in goal. I think he should just let go away with this Dahia love. I think both Dahia and Ward are both teams are not looking good defensively. RK has used wild card. Oh, now that's some news. RK has used his wild card. And guys, if he would have on the chat, if he can come on the chat and please narrate his wild card to us, that'd be great. But I think he will keep it a surprise. But still, just let us go through his team. Trent, Cancelo, Perisic, and Robertson, great defensive lineup. Bruno Guimaraes, Kebano, Rashford, three of the worst picks, I think. Son and Salah, great picks, and Jesus. I think it's good that he used his wild card because Bruno Guimaraes, Kebano, and Rashford. I don't know why he picked these players, uh, but it's okay. I think he should keep Trent, Cancelo, either Robertson or Luis Diaz, Salah, Jesus, Son. I think he will get Haaland instead of Son. He will keep Salah. I think he will keep one of Son and Salah and will get Haaland. Yes, this is what I think. I think he will keep Jesus. I think this time he will have at least two players in the forward line. He can have three also. Knowing RK, I think he will try to go with either a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3. I don't think he will have five in defense. I think he will either go with a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3, and he will have a Martinelli. If I had to guess, he will get a Martinelli, a Salah, and Rodrigo probably. And up forward, he will have Jesus and Haaland, and back he will have Trent, Cancelo, and I think James. I think yeah, that can be his lineup. And I think you won't see any Dahia or any Ward in his team now when he's used his wild card. So this was RK's team. Last but not the least, Sovic Banerjee scored 53 points. Mendy, Cancelo, Koulibaly, Trent, Zinchenko, Henry. I think it's a great defensive lineup. Why did he score less then? Salah, Tielemans, okay, Buendia, Sterling, Haaland. I think it's a great team. I think Buendia is looking good. I think Koulibaly is looking good. I think Sterling is a wonderful pick. Haaland, Salah. I just see Tielemans as the weak link there. Otherwise, I think Henry from Brentford, Zinchenko. I think it's a great team. It's a differential team, and yet it is a great team. Sort of. I think Sovic Banerjee. I think Sovic, you should keep this team. It's a brilliant team. The only weak link I find here is Tielemans. Bundia will not start many games, but I think still is a great pick. Uh, I think otherwise the team looks really good. I think Tielemans is the only weak link in this team. I think you can go for it. What is Tielemans' price? I can suggest you a couple of players. I think he's 6.5. You can go for a Pascal Grob or for a Rodrigo. I think they are great picks. At 6.5, you can also go for a James Ward-Prowse, JWP. I think is a good pick. So, guys, this was our league. RK or SK will share the code of this league, and you guys can join our league. It will be great fun. I will talk about each and every member of the team if the team number of players remain under 30. Otherwise, it will become very difficult to talk about each and every player. Try to get in the league. It will be good fun. RK has a planned for the guy who will win the league. He has told me in secrecy. He asked me not to declare it in front of everybody, but I'm declaring it. I'm like his elder brother. I can do that. So yeah, RK has planned a secret gift for the winner of this league. I don't know what that secret gift is, but let's see what that secret gift is. Now SK is asking who is going to be your cap. SK are when my team plays, they create a lot of chances, and most of the times, who is going to be the at the receiving end of those chances? It is going to be Erling Haaland. I know most of you are going for Salah. I think uh, Jesus is a great chance this game week. Personally, I think there are no incorrect picks. I think Salah and Jesus and Haaland are great picks. I think people are not giving that much attention to Holland right now because they are playing Liverpool, they are playing Newcastle, and Newcastle has kept clean sheets in both of their previous encounters. But in the last match against Brighton, I think Brighton really exposed their defense. And Brighton is playing at home, and Newcastle is playing at home. I don't think they are going to sit that deep against Manchester City. I think they will try to score some goals, and I think if Brighton can expose the defense, I just don't know what Man City can do. So SK's captain is Salah. I think SK Salah is a great pick. Uh, but I'm just wary of this fact that if I just somehow think that if say a Sir Alex Ferguson or any senior member, they have a word with Eric Ten Hag, and Eric Ten Hag for some reason tries to play kind of, you see, practical football or pragmatic approach he takes, I think then Liverpool can have difficulties in breaking down Manchester United system. I think Manchester United is not that bad. They are bad when they try to play with flair. They are bad when they try to impose their will. If they play practically, if they try to sit deep, they just try to attack in counters. I think they can do really well. But I also feel the kind of manager Eric Ten Hag is. Uh, I feel he is a purist. I am afraid of the fact he will try to play from the back, and it can be a bloodbath out there. So yeah, my captaincy is on Holland. I think Salah. If they play from the back, I think Salah is going to really. Salah is really going to. I think he is going to be in a marauding form. I think. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to be great watch. I think some matches are going to be pretty interesting to see. And what more had I thought about of talking to you guys? I think Everton players can be good game with this time. Salah can get a hat trick of penalties. Yeah, correct. This is the advantage Salah has, and Liverpool get a lot of penalties. I think Liverpool is a lucky team that way. I think not luckier than Manchester United. A couple of seasons back, Manchester United was getting penalties like anything. When there was this COVID thing happening, it is still on, but I think when COVID was at its prime, I think when the matches were playing without audiences, Salah was getting so many penalties. Sorry, Manchester United was getting so many penalties, and Bruno Fernandes. It was like Bruno Fernandes was living his dream. I still feel Bruno is a great pick. I don't know why they are trying to play this certain way. I think, but they have got a manager who tries to play this way. I think they need to get players who try to play this way. They cannot have players who play a certain system and a manager who plays a certain system, and all the players play an opposite system, and he tries to amalgamate them. This can take even a couple of seasons. This process, because he needs to have some of the players who understand his philosophy. Now, the problem what is happening is, I think I thought of a point yesterday when I was asking continuously, why did he get Lisandro Martinez? Why did he get this? Why? I think he's getting players whom he's comfortable with, and with whom the players knows how the manager plays. I think Lisandro Martinez knows how does Eric Ten Hag likes to play, what his style is. But the problem here is that Premier League football and Dutch football they have some gap in between, more of a gap. They have a gulf in between, I think. And we saw that same problem with Ziyech also, although he's a quality player. But the thing is, English Premier League is so fast, so pacey, so physical that it is very difficult to, even if you understand the style of the manager, you should have a player who understands this style and plays in the English conditions. So that is where I think he made a mistake in getting rid of Dean Henderson. I think Dean Henderson would have been a great pick because he can distribute the ball like really nicely. I think Dahia will struggle, and not many people understand the kind of engagement and the kind of uh, know-how that a goalkeeper goes through when he has to play through the system. You see, Ederson is quite a fulcrum with our team because Pep likes playing a certain kind of liquid football, a possession based football, and in that I think the Ederson's distribution can really help. It does really help us. So it is not going to be easy if we say substitute. Even if Dahia comes in our team suddenly, it is not that he will adjust to our system. I think it will be very difficult for us to play the way we play because Dahia is not that kind of distributor. I think to play this kind of football that they are trying to do in English Premier League, I think they need some special players who have played in English Premier League and who know how to play from the back. What he did right in his mind was he got Lisandro Martinez and a couple of other guys who he think knows the system, but they haven't played English football. So this is the kind of balance he needs in his team. I'm really interested because I really rate him as a manager. I'm really interested to see what he does against Liverpool. In fact, I'm more interested in watching Manchester United than in watching Manchester City. See, because it can go both ways. If United keep on struggling, I think it can be an early goodbye for him. I know he has been given promises about you can have a season and everything, but it is easier said than done. What if 5 matches are played and Manchester United have lost all the 5 games? Don't you think there will be pressure on Eric Ten Hag? Even if he has been promised that you will be there for a season, what will happen when they are playing that sixth game? What if they lose that sixth game too? I think he's still in that honeymoon period, but I think that honeymoon period will come to a rude ending if he loses against Liverpool also. So I'm really interested whether he keeps up with this approach of no nonsense football and just keeping the ball with themselves and just playing from the back. He's a ballsy guy. I think he's a purist. I think if I have to guess, if I have to place my money on a bet, I think he will keep on playing from the back. He will not take a step backwards. And in the same breath, I would like to say Liverpool would really enjoy because I think the kind of press that Firmino, Luis Diaz, and Salah will have, and the kind of pressure they will put, I think they will start. They will look to have a quick goal, just like what Brentford did. And I think if Manchester United, if Liverpool scores a couple of goals in the first 20-25 minutes, I think it is going to be a rout then. Although I'm a City player, I don't like what is happening at United. I really feel for them. I think two good teams. I really like Manchester United is such a big club. It's a club with some heritage. I really hope they gather some form, they get some good players, and I think EPL is only going to get benefited from a good, strong Liverpool, Manchester United. But I think this is a phase from which every club goes through. I have seen Liverpool going through it. I've seen my club. My club was always in the state of this only, but it somehow the with the ownership changing hands, the manager coming on board, bringing his mentality, his kind of players, the management giving the kind of freedom to Pep. I think that needs to be given to Eric Ten Hag. I think the transfer window is almost coming to an end. I think he needs to sign 2 or 3 big signings, at least some signings who have some kind of name or who have played in English Premier League and know the kind of style. I don't think he can sign. I am very happy that the Rabiot deal is falling off. Already told you guys, I don't think Rabiot knows this kind of football. And I don't think Rabiot has played at this level. I guess he has played at the highest levels of the game, but I think playing in Manchester United right now, English Premier League is at a different level altogether. I don't think comparing English Premier League to any other thing right now is fair. So I think he shouldn't get players that need more time to get adjusted. I think he should get players who, in a couple of game weeks, just gel with the team, and they should know the kind of style that Eric Ten Hag is playing with. The problem is he's getting players who know his style, but they are not at the English Premier League level. Lisandro Martinez right now doesn't look to be at that level. I can have this pod full of Manchester United because I'm really intrigued. This manager really, I rate Pep Guardiola, I rate Jurgen Klopp, and I rate the likes of Jose Mourinho. But the next fourth manager, if I have to ask, I really rate Eric Ten Hag. And that is what intrigues me. They have got one of the best managers. They have got one of the better managers. And the problem with Eric Ten Hag is that he's playing his reputation. He's bringing his reputation on the. He's keeping it on the line of fire also, because if he suddenly stops, if Manchester United doesn't perform in the first 10 matches, they say win a couple of games, draw a couple of games, and lose 5 or 6 games. I think Eric Ten Hag's reputation will take a backseat, no matter what the people say, that oh, the owners didn't get him the players, oh, he was unlucky, oh, he was this, he was that. But I think his reputation, because he should have thought of all this when he signed. He should have gotten a permission from the owners that yes, we will have these sort of players, and then only I will have the go ahead. But if Manchester United for certain reason don't play well, I think uh, Ten Hag's reputation can really be thrown into the spanner, and that won't be good for the world football. Mm, Anyways, guys, this was it from today's session. It has become a bit longish session, but anyways, I'll be back tomorrow with some new gossips of football, with some new rumors, who is signing where, and how Game Week 3 is shaping up to be. What are the new Twitter rumors about FPL? So we'll be back. It's just a good. I think it is a more cathartic way of a cathartic session for me. I feel a lot of things. I think about a lot of things in football. It is my hobby to. It is my great hobby to watch this great game, enjoy it, and then just pour it out in front of you guys. Okay, thank you guys for watching me. Please like, share, and subscribe this video and my channel. And we'll be back tomorrow at the same, I think around 2 or 3 Indian Standard Time. And RK and SK, please share the league code in the comment section. And RK, also please tell what is that secret prize for the player who will finish number one. So okay, guys, that is all from my side. Ciao. Take proper rest, like, share, subscribe. Have a great week ahead, and we'll meet you tomorrow. Thank you.